reject these accusations in the strongest possible terms. It's not my values. It's not how I raised. It's not who I am.
An emotional Patrick Brown facing the press in a hastily called news conference. A dramatic and shocking night at Queen's Park in the wake of a CTV News investigation. Two women coming forward accusing the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of graphic sexual misconduct. The women, who wouldn't appear on camera, both say the allegations against Patrick Brown took place when they were teenagers, and he was the federal MP representing Barrie.
The next thing I know, he's kissing me, sitting beside me, kissing me, and then I kind of just froze up. He continued to kiss me, and he laid me down on the bed and got on top of me.
And a second accuser claimed she performed a sex act on Brown while she was still in high school.
He asked me if I wanted a tour, so I went by myself. And then when we got to his room, he kind of shut the door on me and started making some moves.
Now, none of these allegations have been proven in court. In a statement, Brown's lawyer says Mr. Brown categorically denies these false and defamatory allegations. All right, we have team coverage of this developing story. Our Queen's Park Bureau Chief Paul Bliss is here in the studio with us tonight. Paul, you've been talking to your sources, and so we're going to talk about the political ramifications of this in just a moment. But first, let's go to Queen's Park. CTV's Miranda Anthistle is there live. Miranda, you were in the room for this news conference. What happened?
That's right, Zoraida. So the news conference was called at the very last minute. The room was absolutely packed with members of the press. When Brown entered, he looked very somber, and as he spoke, his voice wavered. And here's exactly what he had to say in its entirety.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple hours ago, I learned about troubling allegations about my conduct and character, and I'm here tonight to address them. First, I want to say these allegations are false, categorically untrue, every one of them. I will defend myself as hard as I can with all means at my disposal. It's never okay for anyone to feel they've been a victim of sexual harassment or feel threatened in any way. Let me make this clear. A safe and respectful society is what we expect and deserve. And no one appreciates that more than I do. I've got two younger sisters who are my best friends. I've grown up in a family that has taught me good values. My values and beliefs are those that we need to move forward to eradicate sexual violence and harassment across the province, across the country, everywhere. I know the court of public opinion moves fast. I've instructed my attorneys to ensure that these allegations are addressed where they should be in the court of law. In short, I reject these accusations in the strongest possible terms. It's not my values, it's not how I raised, it's not who I am.
And after that, Brown left the room immediately. He didn't take any questions. He didn't say anything. However, as he rushed down the stairs at Queen's Park, he was asked if he'll stay on as leader of the Ontario PC Party, to which he replied, "I'll be at work tomorrow." Then he took off in a van that was stationed just outside one of the exits here. Reporting live outside Queen's Park, I'm Miranda Anthistle. Zoraida, back to you.
Thank you, Miranda. All right, let's talk to our Queen's Park Bureau Chief Paul Bliss, who's here in the studio with us tonight. Thanks for coming in with us, Paul. Okay, I mean, huge ramifications for both the PC Party and for Patrick Brown. Let's start with Patrick Brown. What does this mean for him and his future?
He's done. There's no way he can stay on as PC leader. His inner circle has abandoned him. We're about to talk about some resignations. Some of his closest advisors have stepped down. There's already internal revolt within the caucus. One MPP, Randy Hillier, openly calling for him to step aside. Lisa MacLeod, another Conservative MPP, just issuing a statement saying that she will not tolerate abuse. Zoraida, here we have this joint statement.
Yeah, this is from his inner circle, as you were saying. Earlier today, all three of us became aware of the allegations about Patrick Brown after... Where are we here? Patrick Brown after Speaking with him, our advice was that he should resign as PC Party. He did not accept that advice. Since our view is that this advice was in the best interest of the PC Party, we have therefore resigned our position as respectively campaign manager, chief of staff, and deputy campaign
So look at that.
manager.
Okay,
So,
the campaign
he's in a
manager,
circle.
the chief of staff, the deputy campaign manager, his press secretary. Okay, now I've spoken to one of these people who resigned tonight, and he's holed up in his office at Queen's Park because he doesn't want to be videotaped by the cameras. He says he doesn't want to associate himself with these allegations, and it's difficult. Here's a statement from Nick Bergamini, with whom I work closely. He's the press secretary, saying, "This evening I learned of allegations against Patrick Brown. As a result, it is in the best interest of the PC Party that he step down immediately. As he has chosen to follow a different route, I'm resigning as the PC Party press secretary."
So here's my question. If all of his inner circle are aware, right off the bat, what the ramifications are, of these very serious allegations, why did he refuse to step down immediately? I mean, you heard him in that news conference.
Yeah.
He intends to vigorously defend himself against these allegations. He is categorically denying these allegations. Given the current climate right now, with all these accusations and allegations of sexual misconduct coming out about high-profile people, including high-profile politicians, why would he risk this, given the election is less than 5 months away?
He's a fighter. He came out of nowhere and worked hard to win the leadership as a nobody MP from Ottawa that no one thought was going to win. And he came out and he won the leadership, and he's a scrapper, and there's 5 months left. And he's in a state of denial. It's human nature to want to defend yourself and fight allegations like this. But a source that I know within the PC caucus said to me, quote, "He's finished, he just doesn't know it yet." He was advised to step down by everyone around him. You saw in Miranda's story how he ran away from the news conference. Rule number one is you never walk away and run, because the visual message you're sending out to people is that you're scared, you're running away. His staff would never have allowed him to do that, but guess what? They're not there. They abandoned him. They have abandoned him, and I know right now Conservative MPPs are on a caucus call. It's a conference call that is being held, and I'm told by one of those MPPs who's on the phone, he's been emailing me saying it's very tense. They're all shocked, concerned, and like you said, it's 5 months to the election. So if they get the wrong person to lead the party, if they don't connect in 5 short months with the public, they could have lost this chance to take the government away from the Liberals, which I think a lot of Ontarians have been aching for.
Yeah.
Let's face it, there is a lot of Liberal Party fatigue out there.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. I know that some people are sort of floating the idea that perhaps this may be an opportunity for the PC Party to get someone in there that might be able to move the meter more dramatically in a way that the party was hoping that Patrick Brown would do, but I don't think he's quite sort of been doing that.
So here we go. Christine Elliott, who ran for the leadership, is one name put forward. Caroline Mulrooney, a fresh face, no political experience, but you have the family name and she's new. She might charm people. Lisa MacLeod, the MPP from Ottawa, she's strong, she's tough, she's a mom. And here's Vic Fideli from North Bay, who was the former mayor there. He's very intelligent. He's headed their energy file, their finance file. He has a very gentle and wise approach. In a way, and I'm going to remember I said this might end up giving the PCs a bump up if you get the right person in. Because remember what I said, a lot of people in Ontario have Liberal Party fatigue, and they're looking for something else. And Patrick Brown, he wasn't connecting with people at all politically. A lot of people don't know who he is. And there was this ick factor. A lot of people, just like with Tim Hudak, they said, something about that guy, I don't like his hair, I don't like his smile. So if you get the right person to replace him, especially a female, people might go, I'm rallying around this now, and it's time the PCs take control. And look how quickly they acted, because the caucus could still get rid of Patrick Brown. They're on this conference call tonight, and they're already signaling that they don't want to associate themselves with these allegations. They could force him out. They get somebody new who's shiny and charming. You never know.
Andrea Horwath, leader of the NDP party, spoke just a little while ago. Let's listen to what she had to say about the allegations.
I was personally quite disgusted by these sexual misconduct allegations, and I think that nobody in this day and age, 2018, can be leading a political party in the province of Ontario heading into an election with these kind of allegations over their heads. I mean, certainly Mr. Brown will have his day in court, but in the meantime, I don't see how he can function as a leader of a political party going into an election campaign.
Okay, and Kathleen Wynne's office issued a statement as well a little while ago. Now, she's not exactly taking a position as yet. She says, while we don't have a comment on what has transpired tonight, my government and I have been clear on the issue of sexual harassment and assault. In fact, we created a policy and ran a pub ed campaign about it. That ad was called It's Never Okay. So why is she sort of hanging back here tonight, Paul?
Kathleen Wynne is a very smart politician, and there are a lot of smart people in the Liberal Party, and that's why they've won so many elections in a row. She knows that right now he's in trouble. She doesn't want to insert herself as a player in this because she doesn't have great cachet with the public. Only 13% of people in Ontario support her, according to most polls. She's not popular at all. So the best thing she can do right now is keep her mouth shut and let the PCs implode, which is what they're doing. But Zoraida, we're almost 4 months away from the election. This is disastrous for the PCs unless, as I say, they bring in somebody new that brings hope and people go, you know what? I'm going to vote for them. And it's actually interesting. If you don't believe what I'm saying, I'm not going to name this PC MPP who just sent me a text and he said, bingo, good analysis. So a lot of these things we're saying right now, you could see materialize very, very quickly. Patrick Brown says, I'll see you at work tomorrow. Yes, but guess what he might say?
Yeah, well, it looks like all signs are pointed that way. I don't want to speculate too much about, the future. However, I mean, we do have the leader of the Liberal Party, a woman. We do have the leader of the NDP party, a woman.
Yeah.
We floated some ideas there, some names, some possible replacements if and when it gets there. Most of them women, the ones that were sort of top of mind. Do you think this is sort of figuring in as they process this information and as they brainstorm for the future on who could replace Patrick Brown and who could beat Kathleen Wynne and or Andrea Horwath for that matter?
Yes, in a way, the decision might be a little bit simple for the Conservatives. They've made 2 bad decisions in a row, 3 bad decisions in a row. Who would have thought John Tory was going to implode? Everybody thought he was a moderate, good politician, but his promise to fund all religious schools, it blew him up. Tim Hudak came in. Everybody thought he was going to take it in 2014 because people were so angry with the Liberals, and he blew it as well, saying, I'm going to fire 100,000 people. Then comes Patrick Brown. Okay, he laid low, nobody knows who he is, but guess what? You plug your nose and go, I'll vote for that guy who's not Kathleen Wynne. He might have won it for the PCs. Now, the Conservatives have a chance to bring in somebody that they think will be popular and people will like. So their decision, I think, is going to be narrowed down and made pretty simple. And all those people we named, they have something that you, as the voting public, might latch onto, might like.
What happens tomorrow? What is happening right now? What is their strategy going forward? Is Patrick Brown going to make an appearance on camera tomorrow? Is he going to speak, or is he going to hide behind his lawyers?
That's tough. He's come out fighting today. He might come out tomorrow in the interest of the party if the caucus all gang up on him and say, you've got to go. For us to save our seats, you have to go. He might come out tomorrow and say, okay, I'm going to fight this. I'm still going to fight this. I can't do it as party leader. I'm going to step down. I spoke to my caucus, and in the interest of them and winning the election, I'm going to step aside. We'll have an interim leader. I believe in my values and the PC party, but I'm gone. There is a way out the door for him without saying, I'm guilty of everything. He can sort of put the party first and have some political nobility and say, clearly, I cannot be the head of this party and win the election, so I'm going to choose another route while I defend myself.
What's happening in the Kathleen Wynne camp right now, you think?
Well, first of all, I do.
We sort of have an idea of what might be going on there.
Yeah. I mean, nobody likes to relish in the horrible allegations that we've heard, but politically speaking, they're on one hand going, this is great to have turmoil in the political ranks of the PCs, but at the same time, they might be nervous about what I said, and that somebody popular could come along and change everything for the PCs and give them the spike up.
Yeah, no time
Could be
to rest.
bad for the Liberals, believe it or not.
There you go. Our Queen's Park Bureau Chief Paul Bliss, thank you so much for sitting here with us
No,
tonight,
my pleasure.
bringing lots of
Yeah,
great insight.
it's important.
On these explosive
It's historic.
allegations. Patrick Brown being accused of sexual misconduct. He's vowing to fight the allegations. We will see what happens tomorrow. We'll certainly have much more on this, and you'll be following this from Queen's Park tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right.